नमस्कार. सडेतोड नायक कार्यावळीत तुमकां सगळ्यांक येवकार दिता. आज एक म्हत्वाचो आनी सनसनाटी असो विशय आमी घेतला. पोर्तुगीज पासपोर्ट लोक कित्याक घेतात. 2022 वर्सा जवळ जवळ 1,500 लोकांनी पोर्तुगीज पासपोर्ट घेवन भारतीय पासपोर्ट सोडून दिल्लो, नागरिकत्व सोडून दिल्लें. आनी ही आमी चर्चा करता आसतना आज एक बरी खबर आयल्या. बरी काय वायट ती तुमी ठरोवपाची. गोंयचो खडेगांठ वकील एडवोकेट आयरिश बाब रॉड्रिक्स हाणें भारतीय नागरिकत्व सोडून दिलां. इतलेंच न्हय, तो काल गव्हर्नराक वचून मेळ्ळो. आज चीफ मिनिस्टराक वचून ताणें सांगलें की भिवपाची गरज ना, आपणें भारतीय नागरिकत्व सोडून दिलां. आनी आज आमचे मदीं चर्चा करूं आयरिश रॉड्रिक्स खासा आमच्या स्टुडियोन हजर आसात. आयरिश बाब, तुमकां हांव आमच्या कार्यावळीन येवकार दिता. आमचे ह्या चर्चेन वांटेकार जावपाक एडवोकेट क्लियोफाद कुतिनो हे हजर आसात. आनीक आमचे मदीं चर्चा करपाक गिरिराज बाब वेर्णेकर तुमी हांगा आसात. आनी ताका लागून चर्चेक बरी रंगत येतली अशी हांव अपेक्षा करतां. पळय, म्हजे कडेन जी आंकडेवारी आसा, हांवें म्हणलें तशें 2022 वर्सा पोरू 1265 लोकांनी भारतीय नागरिकत्व सोडून दिल्लें. 2015 3875, 2016 4139, 2017 3634 आनी 2019 3603 लोकांनी नागरिकत्व सोडून दिलें. हें कित्या खातीर लोक नागरिकत्व कित्याक सोडटात? आमचे कडेन हांगा ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी ना म्हणून. ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी ना जाल्यार गोंयांत इतल्यो वेकन्सी आसात, लोक एप्लाय करतात. एप्लाय करनात. गोंयांत स्कील आसा, स्कील डेवलपमेंट, गोंयांत भितर नोकरी आसतात. प्रत्येकाक जाय आसता सरकारी नोकरी. आनी गोंयांत हार्ड वर्क करपाची तयारी नासता. आनी एक इश्यू येता, पोर्तुगीज नागरिकत्व घेवन लोक भायर वतात. आतां आमकां खबर ना आयरिश वतलो जाल्यार, पूण भायर वतात. आनी कांय दीस पयलीं गोंय विधानसभेच्या एका म्हत्वाच्या लिडरान म्हणिल्लें गोंयचे लोक भायर वतात ते संडास धुवपाक म्हणून. ताका लागून लोकांक सामको राग बी आयिल्लो. पूण एक गजाल तातूंतल्यान जाता की आमी गोंय आमचें येदें व्हडलें सुपुल्लें सुंदर सोबीत सामकें पर्यावरणाचें लोक जगांतले लोक गोंय पळोवपाक येतात. आनी गोंयकार गोंयचेर खोट मारून कशे भायर वतात. आनी म्हत्वाचें म्हळ्यार तुजें नागरिकत्व सोडपाची पाळी गोंयकाराचेर कित्याक येता. म्हाका दिसता आयरिश बाब, तुजे कडल्यान सुरू करया. तुवें एनावन्स करतकीर लोकांक मातसो धस्को, कारण आयरिश म्हणजे फायटर न्ही, गोंया खातीर लडटा. मागीर आयरिश साटली पोटली गोंयची कवळून पुर्तुगालात चल्लो. कितें बाबा, प्लीज एक्सप्लेन टू अस.
See, my issue is totally different.
Okay.
The Goa government over the last few years have been claiming that I'm not an Indian citizen, that I'm a Portuguese national.
Yeah.
Now, this issue has been alive for almost 3 years. In fact, in 2020, I moved the Honorable Bombay High Court at Goa against the interim report given by the North Goa collector. So the Honorable High Court had stayed that report, and the matter went on for around over 2 years. In February of this year, the High Court disposed the matter while directing the central government to hear me and decide all the issues. So there was nothing coming from the central government, no intimation, no date of hearing, nothing at all. So on the advice of some close advocate colleagues who also felt I should do so, they felt, why don't you go to Lisbon and check officially in the records there whether your birth has been registered there. So last month I applied for a UK visa because I wanted to travel to Lisbon via London. So, and then I also applied for a Schengen visa. And I went to Lisbon and met all the officials there, and they confirmed that my birth is registered in Lisbon. They could not, however, tell me who had registered my birth. So they presumed that maybe before my parents passed away that my birth was registered. Come what may. So they told me that you are entitled to a Portuguese passport. So I thought about it for a day, and then I decided that let me lay this whole issue to rest once for all, because the matter was for over 2 years before the Honorable High Court, and now it may take another 3-4 years for the matter to be decided by the central government, for which I would have to go to Delhi for all the hearings. So I decided, let us not waste more time on this issue which has taken enough of time, money and energy. So I opted for the Portuguese passport the very next day. And
a small question. Has you have taken this decision under pressure from the government?
Not
Pressure
at all,
from
not at all,
political
not at all, not at all. It was my personal decision
Yeah.
because I in life I've never taken any decision on any pressure.
Because I have heard that thousands of Goans have already registered as birth there in Portugal.
See-
Government servant, politicians.
See,
to-
in fact, when I was interacting with the officials there,
Yeah.
they unofficially told me that there are so many politicians, former politicians, present politicians, well-known businessmen, and so many distinguished
come to you.
persons
I'll-
registered there. So I told them it's not. I'm here in Lisbon to get my issue resolved because if if my birth is registered, and now I said I'm going to opt for it.
Okay.
So I got the Portuguese passport, and then the immediate thing by law which is required is once you acquire a foreign passport,
Yeah.
you have to surrender it at the closest Indian office.
Okay.
So I tried to get the appointment because there in Lisbon at the Indian embassy you need to seek an appointment, and the appointments available are only after 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
So then I had to contact the NRI Commissioner of Goa, who was pleased enough to direct the embassy to, because on acquiring the Portuguese passport, I needed a visa to come back because it is an offense if I had traveled back on my Indian passport.
Oh.
So the NRI Commissioner was very kind enough to request the Indian embassy to give me an immediate appointment for the visa. So I had,
this is a process.
and then on arrival in Goa, the very next day I surrendered my election card. I had to take a negative certificate from the civil supplies that because I didn't have any ration card. And then the following day with all those documents, I surrendered my passport in accordance with law.
Okay, okay. So Cleo, I want your comment on this.
See, I have no comment to make because that is his individual choice. But if we look at Goans, they have been going out of Goa for a very long time.
Yes.
Earlier they were going to Africa. From 2006, this issue of passport and giving up citizenship happened because in 2006, Portugal changed their law to give registration of birth a status of citizenship. One.
Okay.
At the same time, there was European Union, and the European Union came together. If you go to Portugal, you can go to entire Europe.
Correct.
So Goans were given a privilege, I would say, to get your birth registered there and thereafter go to other countries. Lot of Goans registered their birth. Lot of Goans have registered their birth but not surrendered passport. And they are still on Indian passport. And it is always an issue to decide who is a foreign citizen, who is a Portuguese citizen. Like if your birth is registered, as Iris said, I do not know how it is registered. Kaitu also said, I do not know how it is registered. So this issue of process of finding out whether you have voluntarily given Indian citizenship, this has been a big issue for our country, and our Home Ministry have not been in a position to decide whether a person has actually given up his Indian citizenship or not. That decision, because it is whether it's a voluntary act or not, is what they are unable to decide. A voluntary act is certainly when you give up a passport. But many of them are also having dual passports, which is an offense. But many of them are so this. But I would say so many Goans are living, so many Indians are living. See, it is said that 6,500 millionaires will live in 2023.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yes,
That's the issue. I will come to that.
The point that I am trying to say is,
Yeah.
somebody is going out
Yeah.
for better opportunities.
Good. Okay.
And if you go out for better opportunity, there is nothing wrong in that.
Okay. I will come to you.
I think just a quick point. One of the things that Iris Bab today wrote a very glowing post. Today he says he does not come under pressure. But if you see his tone, it somewhere says ki, he is tired of why government initiated, or he has argued in the court possibly multiple times that ignorance of something should not be, be held in your favor. So if he does not know who registered, that's another aspect. By taking Portuguese citizenship, he has basically confirmed what we have been saying for last 4 years. तर गेली 4 वर्षाचे गोंय सरकार सांगित आसा की possibly he has a dual citizenship. I think with this passport thing it has been proved. दुसरे तुम्ही जशें म्हणलें की एक व्हडली न्यूज तशें आयरिस बाब म्हाका दिसता सदांच न्यूजान आसता. म्हणजे whether it is 1 year imprisonment for outreaching modesty, तर आनी कशें आसा पर्सनल अटॅक्स हे म्हजो केन्नाच फोर्टे नाशिल्लो, पण हाज्या पयलीं खुबदां आयरिस बाबान म्हजेरूय पोस्ट केल्ले आसा, जाय जाल्यार तुमकां स्क्रीनशॉट सांगत दाखयता, वेर ही हॅज मेड अनसबस्टॅन्शिएटेड कमेंट्स पोस्टेड ऑन एवरी ग्रुप, आनी देर वर लॉट ऑफ पीपल जाणी म्हाका सांगलें की येवन की एक केस घालपाक जाय. हांवें म्हणलें तूं बेसिकली ताका मजा, म्हणजे ज्या कामान ताका मजा येता, which is mud slinging, केसी घालीत राव, ते म्हाका. सो
आमी एक इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक उलयता.
कशें आसा,
इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक
जेन्ना तुमी म्हणटा की एक मनीस भायर वता म्हणून इट हॅज टू बी सीन, तर म्हाका दिसता त्या मनशाचो बॅकग्रावंडूय आमकां कळपाक जाय, कारण ह्यो एक दोन गजाली. नाही आय कम टू दॅट सर, आय कम टू दॅट. हाव
आय एम सेइंग पीपल गो आउट फॉर
सर,
ऑपॉर्च्युनिटीज.
आय एम कमिंग टू दॅट. ऑल आय एम ट्रायंग टू से इज, एक तो विषय आय फुल्ली एग्री. दुसरो, तुम्ही जर हिथ्रो एअरपोर्टाचेर वचत आनी खंयच्या लावंजान किंवा रेस्टॉरंटान बसत, 50% तुमकां कोंकणी आयकूंक येता, आनी त्यो मागीर म्हणजे गाळया पासून बऱ्या गजाली पर्यंत तुमकां आयकूंक येता.
आनी स्विंडनान जर मार्केटान वचत सगळे हे कोंकणी उलयतना दिसता.
खंयचीच न्यूज न्ही, वी कॅनॉट सी इन आयसोलेशन. कारण जशे आमी 40% पासपोर्ट्स जे सरेंडर जाले ते गोवन म्हणले, तशेंच देर वॉज अ व्हेरी रिसंट न्यूज बाय द म्हणजे इन टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया इट सेल्फ, विच सेड कि number of Goans applying for a Portuguese passport has also gone down because of Brexit.
Yes.
So exactly. So I am trying to say is,
people are not only going to
Brexit happened, so other is COVID happened.
So all I am trying to say is people have been moving on Portuguese passport for better opportunities, like Iris Bab in his own post has said कि for visa free travel to more than 180 countries. So I think that we should not read too much into it. And दूसरे whether Home Ministry acts or no, since he was an Indian passport holder, there was no problem as far as his citizenship was concerned.
आयरिश बाब एक सांग म्हाका, तुवें काय रजिस्टर केलें ना, तूं म्हणटा तुज्या पेरेंट्सांनी केलां आसतलें, तुका एक इंडियन सिटीजन म्हणून रावपाक संदी आशिल्ली न्ही, तू वेदर यू कॅन कॅन्सल इट बिकॉज दीस हे जालां अननोइंगली न्ही, तुका खबर नासतना जालां.
See, I didn't have to surrender my citizenship. I could have even refused to accept the Portuguese passport.
Correct.
But to resolve this whole thing, see, because I assessed, because the only 3 things that I would lose on surrendering my Indian passport is my right to vote.
Oh. Correct.
A right to contest elections.
Correct.
And the third thing is, once you have a foreign passport, you cannot acquire agricultural land.
So take a government job.
Or take a government job.
Okay.
So I decided all this is inconsequential to me. Okay.
Yes,
So I see, as an OCI, I have the rest all remains. Okay. So I said this issue in the courts and all that would take another 10 years, Raju. So I said,
but म्हाका दिसता, lot of Iris Bab's fans have been saying he is fighting for the nation. त्याच मनशान at a drop of a hat he gave up his Indian citizenship. म्हाका दिसता that shows your love or whatever you claim. म्हणजे फक्त वोट करूंक मेळना, इलेक्ट जावपाक मेळना. I think it is much beyond. दुसरे, he has contested elections in the past.
Yes.
Because of this case, अशें जावना की he has been denied.
No, this case, this
all I am trying to say is there was this case should not be blamed. I am not mixing. I am not mixing.
This case has come over the last 3 years. Okay, I contested elections much earlier.
Sir, does it stop you from contesting elections because that matter is pending?
Pardon?
Since that matter was pending, would
no,
it have stopped?
My concern was.
So why are you blaming two things?
No.
You have accepted a Portuguese
let me clarify. My concern was that this issue. this
We have
issue
even
would take
argued
another
that how can
another 10 years to resolve.
how
Yuvraj.
can
So it was my
Portugal
choice.
decide my
It was my
Exactly.
personal choice.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have opted, you have made a personal choice.
And
Why are you
I-
trying to somehow say
I
that
complied-
government was responsible for it?
No, I'm not saying the
Baka
government.
ek sir,
That's how you
Baka-
started.
Oh, I'm not blaming the government
That's
at all.
how you started,
I'm
sir.
saying no. I'm saying that this issue to be resolved by the central government and the courts would be another 20 years.
Baka ek सांग,
But
Baka ek
according
सांग,
to
you want to
I would-
migrate
I
to
would-
Portugal?
I would
You want to
say-
migrate?
I would say-
You want to
my
migrate
mind-
to Europe?
To my mind, it was hardly an issue.
एक सांग,
There is no
clear,
issue.
clear,
That's
clear.
what I'm
You want to migrate to Europe?
No, I've said in my note,
Yeah.
I have the option. My main benefit that I said to ever travel abroad now, I don't need a visa. Okay,
Okay.
once a year, go anywhere. You know, 188 countries. Okay, and today obtaining a visa is such a hassle. Okay, that is the advantage, and bringing this issue once for all to rest.
Okay, clear.
Yeah.
तू सांगतो there is no issue.
Yeah, see, because
Yeah.
if you say that I did not know
Yeah.
who registered it there,
Yeah.
it means very clearly that you have not given up your citizenship till then.
Correct.
I would go a bit further and say, how can Portugal
Yeah.
decide your citizenship? Your citizenship should be decided by Indian law. And if you are sure that you have not given up, then I don't think no law in the world can say that you have given up your citizenship.
That is what I'm saying.
No, that is what exactly I'm saying.
Pending that inquiry,
Correct.
was there any liberty or right that was curtailed? That is my simple question. So when he keeps, I'm not.
The Goa government had appointed
sir, it's
a-
a democracy.
the-
You are free to take
not-
any decision.
not-
But all I'm trying to say, every time you have been using the word, let this issue to rest. What is the issue?
No, it is for me. It's laid to rest.
What issue?
Pardon? No,
I am asking
being
you.
in litigation,
I am asking you. How was that litigation hurting your interest as a citizen of India?
No, as a citizen, if I had to travel every month for the hearing before the central government to Delhi and all that, okay, then
You were
the
just
High
saying
Court-
that there were no hearings.
Pardon? No,
You
nothing
were
at all.
just
So
saying
the-
that there was no
See,
hearing.
the
Now
issue-
you are saying
no,
if you
there
have
was
to travel
no-
every month. So that's what I'm trying to say, sir.
See, the
There is a
issue-
perception. Somebody is leaving for
It was
his
my personal
own
choice
selfish reasons
to-
and trying to blame it on the government.
no.
This is
How do you say
unacceptable.
selfish interest?
100%.
What is the
what
selfish
else
interest?
is-
What
When
is
you are
the
saying
selfish
getting
interest?
visa is a problem.
No.
When you are saying
It is
I
my
can now
personal
travel, that
choice.
is a selfish
What is the
interest.
selfish interest?
Obviously.
No.
When you have done it in your own personal choice
course,
and interest,
of course.
what is it?
Giraj
What is selfish?
Giraj,
Can you,
एक point.
can you explain me the dictionary meaning of selfish?
Selfish is in vested interest. With
You
vested
have an interest.
It is no interest.
You have yourself said just now that you can travel.
I-
गिराज
did not
बाबू,
this
गिराज
whole
बाबू,
thing
आता
went
आता
on for years.
त्यातल्यान एक इशू आहे
What is the issue? That is what I'm trying to say. There is no issue.
हो जो पळय कितें इशू आसा तो मातसो आनी मुखार व्हरता आतांच क्लिओफादान म्हणटा तशें लोक पर्सनल बेनिफिट्स वीच आर व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट हांगा एक गव्हर्मेंट जॉबाक जर एप्लाय केलें 5,000 एप्लिकेशन येतात सो पीपल आर व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट इन दीस कॉम्पिटिशन सो लोकांक जर बरी ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी मेळटा जाल्यार भायर वचपाचें प्रमाण वाडटा 40% गोवन्स आर एडॉप्टींग कळटा आनी मोठ्या प्रमाणाचेर फकत पोर्तुगाल न्ही कॅनडा न्यूझीलंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया ह्या देशांत आतां तरुण भुरग्यांक ते आकर्शीत करपाक लागले अशे वेळार तूं वॉट इज युअर ओपिनियन
सर एकूच मिनिट आता तुमकां फॉर एक्झाम्पल इम्पॅक्ट ऑफ म्हणजे आता सिन्स दिस इज अ टॉपिक विच आय हॅव रिसर्च एक्सटेन्सिवली फॉर एक्झाम्पल टुडे साऊदी अरेबिया इज ओपनिंग अप
Yes.
They are offering almost triple the salaries. Have you seen today, you take any 5-star or any top hotel, their chefs are missing, their main captains are, because they are either traveling to Dubai, because they are just growing exponentially. And the way Saudi Arabia is coming up, so how म्हणटा कितें, see, I am not against anybody leaving in their own interest. All I am trying to say is हांगा ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी ना म्हणून वता असलेलो न्हय. आतां तुमी सांगा म्हाका कितले लोक पयलीं बोटीर वताले, कितले लोक लंडन वताले. हांवें तुमकां हिथ्रोचे एग्जाम्पल दिले. आज ते मागीर स्विंडनान आमचे आसूं किंवा साऊथ हॉलान पंजाबी आसूं. सो दिस मायग्रेशन इज नॉट अ न्यू थिंग. ऑल आय एम ट्रायंग टू से इज की लेट अस से की वी आर गोइंग फॉर बेटर opportunities or greener pastures.
One thing is very clear. People are going for better opportunities. One. Number two, there is a general feeling that our systems in our country are collapsing. Mohandas Pai says people are getting out because of tax terrorism. These are his words. Tax terrorism.
I'll tell you the flip side of it. Like, I mean, I was in Dubai for 7 days, just 10 days back. they have a very different. People who were doing business from India, especially around the world, they have suddenly realized that Dubai is such a nice gateway where they can do business without tax. Even with 9% tax, which is there for the corporates, they can still dish out salaries and bonuses to the directors, and they can live absolutely tax free. So all that is where I'm saying, sir, it is not about tax terrorism or whatever. If you believe that you have a better quality of life or better safety, so people are moving out. So I am not trying to, even Iris Bab taking Portugal, I'm not trying to criticize him. All I'm trying to say is let him say that I am taking it in my own personal interest. What I'm against is trying to blame the government. प्रत्येक वेळा सरकाराचे रे करप, सरकाराने झाली. Sir, that is where you say की suddenly government realize. तुम्ही सांगता जर आनी कोणाचो बर्थ जर 2000 असो जर रजिस्टर आसलो न्ही, आयरिस बाबूच सांगतो खबर नाशिल्ले म्हणजे कशें, इग्नोरन्स इज नॉट इनोसन्स. हे कोण सांगपाचो? आयरिस बाब सांगपाचो. I am using his own argument.
At that stage there was a double standard. Okay, there were other cases which now in the entire Goa was my only case that came to light.
तुम्ही आता कितले जे PIL घालता, सिलेक्टिव्हली घालना? सिलेक्टिव्हली घालना?
सांग म्हाका हुंयचे ते. हुंयचे ते सांग.
प्रत्येक केसीन एक दीस जाय जाल्यार हांव म्हणटा राजू बाबाक सांगता डिबेट करूया ऑन दिस PIL.
क्लियो देर इज अ इशू एस्टिमेट, देर इज अ रफ एस्टिमेट 2 लाख गोंयकारांनी आतां मेरेन पोर्तुगीज हें घेतल्या आनी तातूंत भितर 30,000 लोक UK रावतात. 2 लाख गोंयकार वतात इज समथींग व्हेरी बीग.
अकॉर्डिंग टू मी
आनी न्ही म्हाका ताका वेगळो एंगल आहा. म्हाका पयलीं दिसतालें कितें,
म्हाकाय पयलीं दिसतालें that people are going, they should go.
Okay.
Because they are going for their better prospects.
Correct.
But somehow I feel they are going out of helplessness. They are not going out because they want to go there and enjoy. There may be very few like
हांव नेवऱ्या नालाचो व्हड जाला which is surrounded by आक्षी ओल्ड पिलार. एकूच सांगता तुमकां, थंय न्हय आमच्या गांवांत स्पेशली इट्स अ स्टेटस सिंबल इफ युअर child is abroad. It is just like government job. Sir, आज तुमकां चड सॅलरीचो government job
even that status symbol. Sorry, I don't accept. I will tell you, I don't believe.
Then why they are going?
Wait. Just listen. You allow me to talk now.
Okay.
See, the problem is nobody wants to cut off the links with their mother country. One.
Okay.
Number 2, you also feel somehow that I am doing something which I do not want to do, but I am helpless.
What do you mean by helpless?
I know because the conditions here are such.
लोकांक काम करपाचें ना. क्लियो आय एम ऑल्सो सॉरी. म्हाका बरे लोक मेळनात. क्लियो यू हॅव टू लिसन टू अस. गोंयांत काम करपाक लोक मेळनात. सगळे भायले येतात. जेव्हा ऐकय वॉट इज द थियरी ऑफ पॉप्युलेशन कितें? थियरी ऑफ पॉप्युलेशन कितें? 2 लाख जेन्ना भायर वतात 2 लाख भितर भायले येतात.
एक उदाहरण दिता. हांव आनी राजू सर एका कंपनीन कामाक आशिल्ले, मिडिया हाऊस. When I was leaving the sales department, I called up a friend of mine from Madgaon who was in desperate need of a job. I said, if I recommend, you will get it. You know what he told me? How टायल हांव पणजे बर भोंवू काय म्हणून. So that mentally, and you know what he did? He took a job in Goa Dairy, which was half the pay.
Don't make stray examples.
So you are also making stray examples into a broader.
But हाजेर ऑप्शन ड्युअल सिटीजनशिप
100%. I am saying all advanced countries.
Okay.
Most of the advanced countries where Goans are going are giving dual citizenship, and dual citizenship is nothing wrong. In fact, we now live in a new world where you are technologically connected. I would say we should.
Dual citizenship.
The world is evolving as a global village.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe the government should consider it, the pros and cons, and let the government decide on this issue whether to give dual citizenship.
Global village, possibly we should have visa-free travel. Why dual citizenship? That may solve the issue better. नाही म्हजें इतलेंच म्हणणें की जो एडवान्स कंट्री आमी उलयता लायक US and all, I think are we even comparing the population, the number of people. So I think that there is a bigger argument, but dual citizen in itself can be, I think, series of debates. So I इतलेच हांव म्हणटा की yes, it is sad that people are ready to renounce their Indian citizenship for gains, but म्हाका दिसता जर ते करता, they are doing it out of their own will and own personal reasons. It should not be blamed on the government.
Their own will and personal reason, no doubt about it. But I am saying they are doing it out of helplessness.
ओके
I don't agree with that.
आयरिश बाबान पोर्तुगीज सिटीजनशीप घेतली म्हणून आम्ही डिबेट सुरू केली.
Irish was not helpless. That much
2
I
lakh
can tell you.
म्हणले, today
Irish
it
was
is
not
2 lakh
helpless.
1.
ओके 2,01,000 इन्क्लुडिंग आयरिश. एनी हांव ही चर्चा खूब म्हत्वाची आनी चलत रावपाक, वेदर आमकां ड्युअल सिटीजनशीप मेळप बरोबर काय कितें, वेदर आमी गोंयची सिटीजनशीप जाचेर आमी खूब प्रेम करतात तें सोडप काय कितें, भारतीय नागरिकत्व सोडप कितलें म्हत्वाचें, आनी त्या संदर्भान आमी भितरल्यान आमकां वायट दिसता काय कितें, आनी ताजे परस इम्पॉर्टंट नव्यो संदी सोदपा खातीर लोक भायर वतात काय कितें, आनी गोंयकार सदांच भायर वताले अशें एक कारण ताजे फाटल्यान आसता. पूण हे हो खरो म्हणजे डिबेटीक इशू, हो खरो चड डिबेट जावपाक लोकांनी स्वताच्या मनान ताजेर विचार करपाक, आनी म्हाका दिसता आमी आमच्यो जापो आमीच सोदपाची गरज आसा. तुमी सगळे हे चर्चेन सहभागी जाले. गिरिराज, तूं सदां भशेन खडेगांठपणान उलयलो. हरीश बाब, तूं मुद्दम आयलो आनी तूं ह्या चर्चेन वांटेकार जालो. आनी कुलेफात तूं मडगांवच्यान पावस पडटा पणजे बुडले आसतना आयलो. तुजे हांव खास करून उपकार मानता. पळयत रावात गोमंतक TV.